Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as you can see here that basically in this lecture we are going to talk about the State Information Commission. Okay, and basically in this particular topic these are the you can say topics that we are going to cover. Okay, like we will start with the introduction part, thereafter the composition part, thereafter the qualifications of SIC, removal of SIC, tenure and the service conditions, powers and functions, issues with the State Information Commission, RTI Amendment Act 2019. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to see in this particular lecture. But before this, let me make a build up for you so that you can be mentally prepared for understand that what is the significance, what is the meaning, why do we need the State Information Commission and all. Okay, so basically you can say like if we talk about the importance. Okay, so if I ask you to think about it from the ordinary person, okay, from the ordinary person's point of view and from all, okay, suppose you are just a normal person, okay, and if I ask you the city in which you are living in, what is the plan of that city, or you can say what is the plan of the governance of that city, how to develop that city in next 5 years. Okay, even if I ask you like there is any water tank, any water receiver, okay, nearby your locality, which we in Hindi also called as a pani ka tanki. Okay, so basically if I'm ask you like you can tell me how much amount had been spent on building of that particular water receiver, what is the timing of waters coming in coming out, okay, how often the water receiver cleans up in a week, in a day, in a month, in a year or half-yearly. Okay, so do you have this information? Now you will say that yeah, I have the little bit information, and the information that you are providing me right now, that information I can bet that this information is only you can say based on the listening thoughts, and you can say whatever you have listened about that particular thing. But do you have authenticated report? Do you have the authenticated you can say data? If I ask you this, then you won't have it. Okay, even if I ask you like there is any particular highway going by your locality and all, okay, so can you please tell me that how much money has been spent on building of that highway, how many months have been consumed by building this highway? Accurate data I'm speaking about. Okay, even we can take example, suppose you are living in a congested area, okay, and for a long years you have been listening that some particular road is to be built, all right, the locality is to be divided into the certain areas so that the people could be benefited, all the things you have been listening for a year. So do you have exact date, or you can say do you have any promise date that this particular thing will be done on this thing, or you can say that particular thing will be done on this and that date? Do you have this information? Probably not. Okay, and not even you. Many of us do not have this information. Okay, then what happens? That basically the basic idea of the democracy, that is for the people, by the people, to the people. Okay, this is the basic idea of the democracy. That particular idea puts under the doubt. If the government is from us, if the government is working for us, if we are the one who making the government to work, then where the information it is? Okay, like why do we not have the information that what the government is doing right now? We only have the facts and figures that are rumoring in the market, that are rumoring in our locality, but we do not have the authenticated reports, right? So basically to counter this kind of situations, now you will understand that why the State Information Commission is important. Okay, why the information is important? Information is important so that the normal citizen who is living in this country, who is paying taxes to the government, okay, who is hoping that his life standards would be better in future because the government is working for it, how these things would be done, the person should have the right to know about it. Okay, even you can say suppose you have been and you can say your family have been paying the taxes to the government, okay, for various development programs and all. So do you have any information that where is your money going? Okay, do you have it? No. Even if we take the major cases of corruption scams throughout the country, all right, so do you have what happened, how the cases were resolved, okay, what were the findings? You won't have, okay, because the information that you needed right now, that information is not available in the general market. Even you can say the newspapers, the news outlets, the media outlets, the information they are providing to us, maybe the information is inaccurate. Why? Because even they are based on the information they are getting from the rumors. Most of the time, you can do one thing, that you can collect their facts and then you can match their facts with the actual reality. You will find it that most of the facts are only based on the listening, not on the authenticated reports. Okay, so these are the things. Got it? So basically in this lecture now we are going to talk about what is the State Information Commission and how does all the things that I have told you right now, these things would be checked. Okay, so let's begin with the first thing, that is we have planned as an introduction. So if we talk about it, if we talk about the introduction part, so we can say that basically that was the year of 2005 when RTI, Right to Information Act, okay, Right to Information Act 2005 was passed. Okay, this is in short known as RTI. Okay, many a times you have listened, some of your friends, some of your neighbors, they wanted to have some information, then they formulated an RTI, or you can say they filed some RTI. So what is that RTI? That RTI is the Right to Information Act, and this act was provided to the citizens in 2005. And when this act came into the picture, it creates not only the Central Information Commission that is responsible for providing the informations at the national level, but they also formulated the State Information Commission that provide the information at state and the regional or the local levels. Okay, so remember the RTI Act was passed in 2005, and the particular act provides for the creation of two commissions at two different levels. First at the Central Information Commission, central level. Second is the State Information Commission at the state level. Accordingly, the state have constituted the State Information Commissions through the official gazetted notifications. All the state, it means if we talk about the states in India, there are 28 states in India right now. All these 28 states have their respective State Information Commission. The State Information Commission is a high-powered independent body which internally looks into the complaints made it to and decide the appeals. So here you can find out word that it is the high-powered independent body. Okay, like we can say whenever we talk about the government, then who forms the government? The government is formed by the political parties. Okay, and the political parties, you know, it's a general talk that they promise something but they did not fulfill it. Okay, so basically if the person is, you can say, aspiring for the information, okay, there are chances, if the State Information Commission is independent to the government, the political party which is ruling right now, so there are chances that they won't provide the accurate information, or you can say the information that will be provided to you, that could be manipulated. All right, so that's why when the RTI Act was came into the picture, the first thing that happened was that it was become the high-powered independent body. Okay, so it looks into the complaints about the things that the promise the government has made but never fulfilled, and even if someone files the appeal for having a information, it entertains the complaints and appeals pertaining to the offices of the government, the financial institutions of the government, the public sector undertakings working under government, and other authorities that are working under the concerned state government. It means that suppose if you are living in the Uttar Pradesh, okay, and you are seeking the information of Uttar Pradesh government, then you are required to file the complaint or the appeal within the State Information Commission of Uttar Pradesh. It is not possible that you are filing the complaint and the appeal with the State Information Commission of Rajasthan or State Information Commission of Andhra Pradesh. They won't help you. Why? Because the State Information Commission is responsible and you can say answerable for the information of particular state or the concerned state only. Got it? I hope now the things have been clear to you. Let's move forward. After completing the introduction part, now let's have a look at the composition. Okay, so here we have seen that why the information commissions were needed and how they were formed. Okay, and what they do, like they entertains the complaints and the appeals. Now we are going to see the composition part. Okay, what is the composition of State Information Commission? Now we are going to see this. So basically, the commission consists of the State Chief Information Commissioner, who is also the chief of the commission, and not more than the 10 State Information Commissioners. So here we have found one thing, that the State Information Commission is the multi-member body, okay, which comprise at maximum 11 members. Okay, it means that one will be the State Chief Information Commissioner and rest will be the State Information Commissioners, and the State Information Commissioners number are fixed that they could be 10 at maximum. Okay, they could not be exceed more than 10 members. Okay, if we talk about the appointment, like who appoints them? So basically they are appointed by the governor. Who appoints them? Governor of the state appoint them, but not by his will, but on the recommendations of a committee. By the recommendations of a committee, and that particular committee consists of the chief minister of the state, who will be the chairperson of the committee, leader of opposition in the legislative assembly, and the state cabinet minister, who will be nominated by the chief minister. Okay, so they all will be the member, like there are the 3 members in the committee which recommends the person to get appointed to the State Information Commission. The first is the chief minister of the state, who will also the chairperson of the committee. Thereafter the leader of opposition in the legislative assembly, and thereafter the state cabinet ministers, who will be nominated by the chief minister. Got it? They should be persons of eminence public life with a wide knowledge and experience in law. These are the qualifications. Okay. However, we will see the qualification further, but right now what we will see, that they must having the knowledge in the public life and wide knowledge and experience in law, because whatever information they will provide, whatever complaints they will look into, all the things will be belong to these areas mainly. Science and technology, social service, management, journalism, mass media, administration and governance. Now you can say that all these areas are somehow directly or indirectly related with the machinery of government. So that's why if the person will have the knowledge of these areas, then only he will be able to provide the accurate and the correct information. Remember, there is a condition that they should not be a member of parliament or member of the legislature of any state or the union territory. Why? Because the State Information Commission should be independent of the politics. If the member of parliament, member of legislature of any state or UT would be appointed as a member to the State Information Commission, then they belong to some political party and they will formulate a political sphere within the State Information Commission. So maybe the information they will provide that could be manipulated so that they could drive the public opinion in their favor. They should not hold any other office of profit or they are connected with any political party or carrying on any business or pursuing any profession, so that it could be ensured that whatever information they are providing right now, this information should be accurate and is not manipulated. Got it? Now, we are going to see the qualifications of SIC. Okay, like what are the qualifications? So, the State Chief Information Commissioner and the state information commissioners. Both. They should be the persons of eminence in the public life and wide knowledge and experiences. Now, whatever fields you have just seen right now, I have separated them so that you could have the good idea. Like they must have the practical knowledge and experience in law, in science and technology, social service, management, journalism, mass media. Okay. Administration and governance. And again, the conditions are that they should not be a member of parliament of the legislature of any state or union territory. First thing, they holding any office, other office of profit. They should not be connected with any political party. And last, they should not carrying on any business or pursuing any profession other than the official duties assigned to him. Okay. After this, now let's see the removal of SIC. Now, so far we have seen the appointment and the qualifications. Now, what we are going to see that we are going to see the removal of SIC, like on which basis the State Information Commissioner and the State Information Chief Commissioner could be removed. Okay. So remember, basically the rights granted to the governor of the state that he could remove both the State Chief Information Commissioner or the State Information Commissioner from the office under the following conditions. It means that there are the same conditions of removal for the chief as well as the members. Okay, it means that there is no different criteria for the removal of them. So what are the conditions? The first condition is if they being adjudged insolvent. Okay. Second condition is if they being convicted of an offense involving the moral turpitude, in the governor's opinion, if they engaging any paid employment outside the duties of the office during the term. Okay. If they being deemed unfit to the continue due to the infirmity of mind or body in the governor's opinion. If they acquiring financial or other interest likely to advertise the official functions, like they have the financial or other interest in the government. So what will happen? It is necessary, and you can say it is quite obvious, not necessary, that whatever information they will provide, that might be not accurate. If we talk about, in addition to this service, basically, the governor can also remove the State Information Commission on the basis, like if he is proved misbehavior or incapacity. Okay, but this matter, the governor is required to refer to the, he is required to submit it to the Supreme Court for an inquiry. Okay, and if the Supreme Court after the inquiry supports the removal and advises so the governor can proceed with the removal. If not, then the governor is not allowed to remove it. Okay. After this, if we talk about the tenure and the service conditions, then we can say the State Chief Information Commissioner and the State Information Commissioner shall hold office for such term as prescribed by the central government or until they attain the age of 65 years. Depends upon whichever comes earlier. Okay. If their tenure completes, and you can say if they attain the age of 65 years. Okay. Remember, they are not eligible for reappointment so that their authentication in work could be ensured. If they are eligible for reappointment, there are chances that they could basically favors the government. Like here are again, I have put the removal conditions for you so that you could revise. Like governor can remove the State Chief Election Commissioner or any state election commission, Chief Information Commissioner. Please pardon my words. Chief Information Commissioner and the State Information Commissioner from the office on the following conditions, like if they adjudge an insolvent, if they has been convicted for an offense, okay, if they engage during his term of office any paid employment outside the duties of their office. Okay, if, in the opinion of the governor, they unfit to continue in office due to infirmity of mind or body, if they has acquired such financial or other interest as is likely to prejudicially affect his official duty. Then we know, if in the case of misbehavior or incapacity, the governor finds out it, so the governor is required to give the case to the Supreme Court for an inquiry, and even after the inquiry, if the Supreme Court confirms that that particular State Information Commissioner or Chief Information Commissioner is proved for his misbehavior or incapacity, then he could removed by the president. So here we can say the salary, allowances and other service conditions of the State Chief Information Commissioner and the State Information Commissioner shall be such as prescribed by the central government. So who decides the salaries and allowances and service conditions of the information commissioners of the state? The central government. And this could not be varied once they got appointed to the service. Okay, so that they could not be pressurized. If we talk about the powers and functions, so basically it is the duty of the commission to receive and inquire into a complaint from any person, and it is like who has not been able to submit an information request because of non-appointment of public information officer. Like in his locality there is no public information officer, so to whom he could file the complaint. That is the first thing. Second, if he requested for information and that information has been refused, then he could file a complaint against it. After this, he not received a response regarding to his information within the specified time limits, then he could file the case. Thereafter, he thinks the fees charged is unreasonable. Like whenever you file RTI, there is some fees that you are required to pay. So if he finds that the fees is too high or unreasonable, then he can file a case. Thereafter, he thinks the information which is given is incomplete, misleading or false. After this, any other matter relating to obtaining information other than these matters, then he could file the complaint. The commission can order inquiry into any matter if the reasonable grounds are there, or you can say there is a power of suo motu. It means that it is not necessary. The commission is required to receive some complaint, then only the commission could start the inquiry. Even before this, the commission will start the inquiry. While inquiry, the commission has the powers of the civil code in respect of the following matters. First, summoning and enforcing attendance of person and compelling them to give oral or written evidence on oath and to produce documents or things. Requiring the discovery and inspection of documents. Receiving evidence and affidavit. Requisitioning any public record from any court or office. Okay. They could issuing summons for examination of witnesses or documents and any other matter which may be prescribed in that particular inquiry. During the inquiry of a complaint, the commission may examine any record which is under the control of the public authority, and no such record may be withheld from it on any grounds. In other words, all public records must be given to the commission during inquiry for an examination. Got it? After this, now let's have a talk about the powers and the functions. So the commission has the powers. Okay, right now we're talking about it. Okay. The commission has the power to secure the compliance of the decision from the public authority. Okay. And the public authority is required to provide the access to the information in the particular form. Directing the public authority to appoint the public information officer, where the public information commissioner, information officer is not appointed. Publishing information or categories of information. Making necessary changes to the practices relating to the management, maintenance and destruction of records. Enhancing training provisions for the officials on the right to information. Okay. They could seek the annual report from public authority on compliance with this act. They requiring the public authority to compensate for any loss or other detriment suffered by any applicant. They could impose penalties under this act and rejecting the application filed by any person. The commission submits the annual reports to the state government on the implementation of the provisions of this act. A state government places this report before the state legislature for the consideration. When a public authority does not conform to the provisions of this act, the commission may recommend to the authority steps which are to be taken for promoting such conformity. If we talk about the issues relating with the SIC, so we can say there is lack of transparency in the selection process. The criteria for selecting commissioners and their working methods not so transparent. That's why there are concerns about the commission's impartiality and effectiveness, and the dominance of former bureaucrats in the appointment raises question over diversity and competence. It means that whosoever would be the bureaucrat, so they could have the interest in the government, so might be information they will provide that is inaccurate. Vacancy issues. Delays in filling vacancies lead to a backlog of cases, reducing the efficiency of the commissions and causing delays in addressing appeals and complaints. Lack of capacity building. State public information commissioners or the officers often lack sufficient knowledge of the RTI Act. That is, the delays and inefficiencies in the processing applications and providing response to the applicants is quite common. Poor record management practices are there. Okay. The inadequate record management systems and producers cause delays in the processing RTI application, hindering timely access to the information. Delay in disposal of appeals and complaints. The RTI Act mandates time limit for disposing of first appeals, but no specific time limits for second appeals. It means that if you apply for first, you will get the response in adequate time. But if you apply for the additional information on the topic, there is no specific time limit, so that could be a backlog of cases. Poor quality of information provided. So the state public information officers may provide the inadequate or poor quality information to the applicants that could cause the dissatisfaction amongst the information seekers and hindering the transparency and objectives of the RTI. There is low public awareness. There is a lack of awareness about the RTI Act, particularly among the marginalized communities and lower socioeconomic strata, limiting the legislation potential citizens and promote the, you can say, transparency in the governance. Okay. All right. Now, there is a RTI Amendment Act 2019. If we talk about it, so there are various features that got amended. First, it provided that the Chief Information Commissioner and the Information Commissioners shall hold office for such term which will be prescribed by the central government. Before this, that was fixed for 5 years. After this, it provided that the salaries, allowances, and other service conditions of the Chief Information Commissioner and the Information Commissioner shall be such as prescribed by the central government. Before the amendment, salaries, allowances, other service conditions were similar to the Chief Election Commissioner, and often Information Commissioner were similar to the Election Commissioners. But later it came in the hand of the central government. Provided that the State Chief Information Commissioner and the State Information Commissioner shall hold office for such term prescribed by the central government, but prior to this it was 5 years that we had already discussed. Okay. Thereafter, it removed the provisions regarding the deduction in salary of the Chief Information Commissioner and Information Commissioner, the State Chief Information Commissioner and the State Information Commissioners due to the pension or any other retirement benefit received by them for their previous government service. Okay, so these were the things. So students, basically in this lecture, we have finished with the State Information Commissioner. In the next lecture, we will start with another important topic. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture. Be ready for the another lecture. With this note, let's end this lecture and thank you.